Welcome back to the Pond Hockey post-game show. It's time for our Jeff D'Ambrosio Auto Group Drive of the Game. Go JeffAuto.com. I've been picking on you guys all season long. Let's go with you, D-Gun. You look like you're ready to go. It's always fun.
I was just about to say, you always pick on me.
Well, it's always fun to do in like a bad loss like this when there really aren't too many drives to choose from. But you guys at least have more than one. We've had a few games where there have been like one clean drive that you can choose from. And look, It was a loss. Maybe we go with the worst drive of the game. Shake things up a bit. I don't know.
Listen, the drive of the game is the Chiefs taking the lead.
It's Mikey saving it.
Was she coming to you?
Yeah, but I said,
no, you got it.
Because I heard silence. The drive of the game is the Chiefs take their first lead of the game. But if you want to look at the Eagles and patronize their drive of the game, I thought their drive of the game was a 12-play, 75-yarder that made it 21-14 because they converted 3 third downs in that drive, and that was the 4th and 5 where Jalen had the quarterback draw for 28, and then he converted another 4th down via a penalty. So this is Gallo's selection here. You know, I'm just like a drive of the game. I'm going. It's the Chiefs. They took the lead, and they went. All of a sudden, they go, "Hey, guess what? We're back. Yeah. We've arrived." And to me, that turned the game around when they got the lead for the first time.
All right, I'm ready.
I'm ready. Go ahead. All yours. Stage is yours.
For me, the drive of the game for the Eagles, if you try to put a positive spin on that, is Kansas City goes up 35-27. Eagles are in dire straits. They march right back down the field. Not only do they get the touchdown, they get the 2-point conversion to tie it.
Yeah.
They put themselves in, and that was with 5:15 left in the game. They put themselves in a position to possibly win the game, but unfortunately, the defense did them in. But for me, for them to rally in that situation, that was my drive of the game.
You know what? It's really unfortunate that a loss will, and the way it happened, will kind of overshadow what Jalen Hurts did tonight. He really, I know he had a fumble, but he had an incredible performance.
Yes,
and that drive in particular, watching it, and I know they ended up losing in the end, but that still, had they not done anything on that drive, the game would have been over then. It wouldn't have even been tied at the end there. I like that selection, Deegan. And there were some bright spots. I know we don't really want to be positive right now. We can all mourn this loss a bit. But even that pass to A.J. Brown in the first half of the game, that was incredible.
Yeah.
Like, there were some great moments from this Eagles team in this game.
It was a great game. It was a great back and forth game.
It was.
If you weren't invested in the Eagles winning a game, I'm sure, like, nationally, you're going, wow, this is a great game. We're going up and down.
Probably the most entertaining Super Bowl in recent years, honestly.
Yeah, it was a great Super Bowl. But when you have a 24-14 lead at halftime and that quarterback looks skimpy, you go, wow, we're in good shape here to win a Super Bowl. You know, and it just was snatched away in the second half.
We were thinking so much that Mahomes might not return. I said to Seth and Mike, I said, in all the years I've covered football, I've never covered a team where the 2 starting quarterbacks in 2 consecutive games get knocked out of a game.
Yeah.
49ers lose 2, and we're thinking Mahomes is not coming back. When you looked at how he was grimacing, lo and behold, whatever they did, take
what
him
did
up,
they
shot
do
him
to
up.
him at halftime, by the way? Because that
what'd they
ankle
do,
looked
Seth?
fine.
What'd they do at halftime, Seth?
What'd they do? What kind of drug?
They got some powerful stuff back there in that training room. I can tell you that.
What's it called, Seth?
I know from firsthand experience.
Seth, I hope my mom is watching because she's so funny. She's texting like our family group chat like, they're cheating. He was faking his injury. There was no way. Look at him running. I'm like, Mom, they definitely just shot him up with some powerful drugs. I think that's more likely what happened.
I think maybe in the second half, the Eagles kind of fell into, the trap a little bit of believing how hurt he actually was. Because, he got out and made some runs that really hurt them, in the second half, first down, runs for first down. I don't know. I just, my mentality is so much different than, what you see. If he was hurt, I was going to make, it was our intention to make sure he was hurt and that he wouldn't come back in. That's not today's NFL. They don't play that way anymore. But I still think that.
But at the very least, put heat on him to make sure he earns that with a bad foot.
Let's find out just how immobile he can really be.
Yes.
Instead of sitting back playing zone, that he's an all-around great quarterback. He can beat you from the pocket. He can beat you on the move. He can beat you with his legs. Let's find out early in the second half rather, where he is and what kind of pressure we can apply to him. But like the saying goes, scared money don't win nothing.
I will say this also. Mahomes was in the best hands possible to get him through Cincinnati game and this game. The head athletic trainer, Rick Burkholder, is a good friend of mine. He's the head of the Athletic Training Association in the NFL. Nobody, and I want to emphasize again, nobody does a better job in the league of rehabbing players and getting them back on the field sooner rather than later than Rick Burkholder does. So in a day from now, a couple of days from now, I want to ask, what exactly did you do to Mahomes to get him ready for this game? First of all, he completed that Jacksonville game after he went out for a while.
Yeah.
Comes back the next week on one leg and beats Cincinnati, and now this. I have to know, what exactly did you do?
He is not going to tell you.
He'll tell me. I can't tell you, but he'll tell me.
I can tell you.
No.
But I ain't.
Look, the stuff that you had back in your day, I don't know if that's legal
Man, you need to
nowadays.
stop.
Oh my God!
Really?
Now I need to know more.
Come on, man.
I don't know if it's
Yes,
legal. Is it still legal?
As a matter of fact, a lot of the stuff that they was using back then that was illegal is now illegal as an absorption transmitter now.
Okay. All right. Okay.
DMSO.
What does that mean?
Oh, that's that Canadian stuff.
DMSO.
What does that do?
It was a horse liniment that was illegal to be used on humans back in the day. But our old trainer used to use it. Well, now it's a major absorption, factor that they use on a lot of medications now, and it's phenomenal because they paired it back and they create stuff in the proper way.
I used to put that on my arm.
Oh yeah.
What's
used
its
to rub my arm
purpose? Like,
down.
does it takes away? It takes away.
I knew we
pain?
was kindred spirits, man. It took 20 weeks for us to get there, Mike. Come on, man.
Oh yeah, I had it.
Oh man.
You need to give your drive of the game, Seth. Not getting off that easy.
My drive of the game is the same as D Gunn's.
Okay.
I think the mental fortitude of this football team to be down by 8 points and go 8 plays, 75 yards, and take 4 minutes off the clock, and not only punch it in with Jalen for his 3rd touchdown of the game, but then turn around and get the 2-point conversion to tie it. We just got to get we just need to get our defense to where our offense is, as far as that's concerned. But that showed me a lot about who Jalen Hurts is, and I hope all the haters, all the clowns that talk about, anyone can play quarterback for the Eagles, and Jalen Hurts isn't that good of a quarterback, and talk about what he is and what he isn't. Listen, dude threw for over 300 yards tonight, okay, and ran the ball, for 70 yards and 3 rushing touchdowns. He accounted, for the majority of the Philadelphia Eagles offense. Just think about this. He had 15 runs and he threw the ball 38 times. That's 53 total plays. The Eagles only had 72 plays now. So I'm not a math wizard, but someone sitting here might be. You can throw a percentage on that real quick, Mike.
What is it again?
53.
I love that Mike's the mathematician, the statistician.
53 of the total 72 plays.
Uh-huh.
He threw the ball 38 times, and
Yeah.
he ran it 15 times. And they only had 72 total plays.
Yeah. So what percentage you asking me for?
I'm talking about the percentage of plays that he accounts.
So
he
basically,
accounted for the
Jalen
offense
Hurts
today.
was the offense
Exactly.
today. Yeah.
Exactly. Because
And-
the running backs were non-existent today.
I will say-
Like 70%.
And the coaching staff were not as committed to the running game as they needed to be, because you got to wipe Hurts's 15 to 17 runs off the board because there's so many pass plays that are mixed in there where he had to run. The running backs only had 17 carries for 45 yards. That is 2.6 yards a carry. You talk about poultry. After racking up 47 carries the last 2 games and 208 yards and 3.5 touchdowns. Come on, man. I mean,
listen, he made a couple of great throws. How about the one play where Frank Clark, he made a spin out on Frank Clark, and he converted that 3rd down to Pascal, and then that throw to Goddard to the sidelines was just on
Goddard
the
had some amazing catches
Yeah, that was
today.
a great catch, but that throw had to
That
be
throw-
right there.
that throw
It was a
was
fantastic throw by him.
I think he answered a lot of detractors tonight by the way he threw the ball, because everyone for the last 2 weeks wanted to make a big deal about the fact that Jalen Hurts only threw for 121 yards against, the Giants, and then he came back and only threw for 154 yards and no touchdowns, against the San Francisco 49ers. Hence, you look at what he did today. I'm not saying that that's the case, but I would much rather have seen the Eagles be able to rush for 220 yards on the ground and Jalen throw for, 170, 180. Then I think we might have had a better chance of controlling the game and controlling the outcome of this game. But even in the pregame, Gunn, I talked about minimizing the amount of possessions, and that you didn't want Patrick Mahomes, to have double-digit possessions. They had 8 possessions, man.
Yes, they did.
8 possessions in this game. So usually that's good enough to beat a team like this. That's explosive offensively. And the fact that our offense was explosive enough to put 35 points up, just couldn't close the deal. We couldn't get our defense to show up when it really needed to show up, and it really needed to blow its net.
The numbers across the board bear credence to the fact that the Eagles should have won this game. Total yards, time of possession, and yet they're on the short end of the ledger.
And that's what's so heartbreaking about it.
It's sad.
Mistakes,
It is really sad.
the small mistakes in big games are glaring the most.
Mm-hmm.
The fumble, the false start, the drop pass. Those 3 things. And we can talk about the defense all day, but if Jalen doesn't fumble that ball for a touchdown, it might be a different game.
Yeah.
Quez Watkins makes that catch, put him in scoring position, might be a different game.
Yeah.
Sirianni doesn't jump. It's 3rd and 1. Now you're looking at 3rd and 6. Might be a different outcome.
Yeah.
But that's that's football.
Gunn, I saw a mock draft the other day, if you will.
Yeah.
It's crazy at this point in time. They're already starting to come out. I saw a mock draft, the Philadelphia Eagles drafting a wide receiver out of USC. I second that mock draft.
Wait, in the first round?
I don't care where they draft.
If they get him, they're not taking they cannot take a receiver.
They
in the
need a
first
third
round.
wide receiver. They need a guy who can run fast like the wind, but got strong enough hands to catch the damn ball.
As much as we want the Eagles to keep a lot of the current defensive personnel, they are in a prime position right now to get younger and good real quick with 2 first-round picks. I say they need to address defense, because once Jalen gets his money, you can't keep all these guys. Man, these guys are getting big money. Kazir White, Bradbury, CJ, all these guys are getting big money from somebody.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. And you're going to have to draft and the development of the young players you have on the roster.
Yes.
But the one thing you cannot do, even after you pay Jalen, you cannot take any weapons away from him on the offensive side of the board.
No.
The offense from this point on is going to have to carry this football team in a certain regard. And you're going to have to go into the draft, and you're going to have to find those diamonds in the rough, and your coaches are going to have to step up and get better at technique and fundamental type stuff, and coaching guys to be a lot more disciplined, and the communication side of defense, because you can't pay Jalen Hurts $50 million and then turn around and take away what makes him worth that $50 million, his offensive line and his weapon.
So you're done with Quez. I'm
Done.
Well, I mean,
You're done with Quez.
It's hard to not be done with
Yeah,
Quez.
okay,
Like, he was
so,
MIA for
so-
a while, came back and made a mistake.
Yeah, they probably will need to draft the receiver. I'll tell you who they're going to draft.
Who are they
They're
going
going
to
to draft the cornerback Joey Porter from Penn State with the 10th pick in the
I'm
draft.
okay with that.
They're not going to re-sign Bradbury. They're going to draft him right there. He's sitting with right there for him.
Yeah, but to D Gunn's point, you're already paying Slay. If you draft him in the first round, even though it's the 31st pick, it's still going to be a substantial amount of money as a first rounder.
Yeah, but then they're not going to play Bradbury.
Well,
so
but-
they subtract that and they get a young corner. They're going to have to get a young corner. I mean, Slay's not getting any
Well,
younger.
even that much more. I forgot about the Saints pick. You taking that guy with the 10th pick or the 31st pick?
The 10th. The 10th. He's that high.
They can't afford to pay him. D.
He's
Gunn.
that high ranked.
I'm taking a corner or a linebacker with that 10th pick.
Well, if we can scratch the linebacker, we ain't getting no damn linebacker. We
What's
need to
that?
Stop that. Because we got the one last year that fell to us at 3, and he's going to be required to step in and replace, Kazir White. They're not bringing Kazir White back. They're going to try to figure out how to extend and how to bring back T.J. Edwards.
True.
But I guarantee you, as a unrestricted guy, he's going to get a whole lot of
He's going to get a lot of money. See, there's another guy. You got 7 guys on that defense that are going to be looked at significant. What happens when you have success? Everybody wants to pick off your product, right?
See, so consider this. I think that Gardner Johnson is a guy you need to bring back.
Absolutely.
Agreed.
Yep, absolutely.
You can tender T.J. Edwards an offer, and you can tender Bradbury an offer. But you let those guys go out,
and test the market.
And test and shop the market.
Yeah.
In my opinion, BG is a guy that doesn't want to go somewhere else and play. You figure out how you can bring him back.
Oh, he will definitely take a discount.
Okay.
He'll take a discount.
Fletcher Cox, time to say goodbye.
I agree with
Time
you.
to say goodbye.
What about Hargrave?
Hargrave, you might have to say goodbye, and you might have to use one of those 2 first-rounders to go and get maybe the other guy from Georgia.
Another D tackle?
Yes, sir. And listen, this is how Howie builds his football team. He builds from the offensive line and the defensive line back and out. So I find it hard to believe, the only reason he took Devontae is we were so decimated at that position that he had to go and take it. And he was the surefire guy, and he was right there available for him to get. But I still believe that they believe that you win the game by winning the trenches.
Mm-hmm. True. Mm-hmm. To Mike's point, though, whoever they draft at that number 10 spot, you're going to have to pay him that slotted money. You're going to pay him no matter what. So once the dust settles and we find out who's coming back and who's not, cornerback may be your primary position to look at.
Well, listen, you mean to tell me you're going to draft a cornerback at number 10?
That's where the good corners get drafted.
And ask him to come in and play zone?
The startable corners.
You're going to ask him to come in and play zone as a starting quarterback? I'm just saying.
A pedigree guy, though,
I'm just asking the question, Deb.
Maybe the
because
next.
there's a whole lot of zone cornerbacks out there that you can get in the second or the third round.
I'm going to pause this debate because we are going to toss to
Maybe
a
the
very,
next
very
Sauce
quick
Gardner
break
is
message
out
from
there.
our partners, and we'll be back with Game Balls right after this.
Jeff D'Ambrosio doesn't need a special event to appreciate his customers. Jeff shows his appreciation to them every day of the year. Jeff makes sure to stock more new inventory than anyone and guarantees prices and payments that nobody can beat. There are so many reasons that thousands of customers know Jeff is the easy, friendly place to do business. More for their trades, no judgment zone for credit issues, the best, most reliable service department in the country. That's why I like Jeff, and I know you will too. Jeff will satisfy you every day. Jeff D'Ambrosio, Destination Downingtown, Owner Appreciation Event.